What's up, everybody? Let's try that one more time. What's up, everybody? Noah Kisser back here for what I watched in April. It's been a while since I've been doing a live stream, but next month I'm going to be doing a new format. I'm going to try and make it an actual long-form video instead of a live stream. So, what is this show? Well, I did this with my buddy Kyle. Last month I did it with Luke. So, we're going to go over everything I watched in the month of April. That includes movies, that includes TV shows, that includes everything that I have watched in a cinematic format. So let's get into this. How this works is I'm going to go to my letterbox and I'm going to go to my diary. And my diary is going to start from April 1st until the end of the month. So the first movie I watched in April is a little movie called Awake. Awake is an 84-minute thriller starring Hayden Christensen and the lovely Jessica Alba. While undergoing heart surgery, a man experiences a phenomenon called anesthetic awareness, which leaves him awake but paralyzed throughout the operation. As various obstacles present themselves, his wife must take life-altering decisions while wrestling with her own personal drama. Now, this movie does have something going for it, and that is mostly that we have a great cast. There's a phenomenal cast in here. The issue with this movie for me is that Jessica Alba plays his wife. It's her motive of why she's making these life-altering choices. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but the reason why I watched this movie is because, one, I bought this for a friend. I found the Blu-ray at the library for my buddy Luke, and I decided I'm going to give this a watch before I send it off to him. And I found it to be a very subpar movie. This movie does have something going for it. Jessica Alba and Hayden Christensen. Terrence Howard isn't in it a lot. Sam Roberts does a great job here, as always, Fisher Stevens and David Harbour. This movie is 84 minutes. It runs at a rapid pace, and I highly recommend you check this out, but don't go into it expecting likable characters. Let's go into the comments really quickly. What's up, Sav? Great to see you. I hope you're doing well in the UK. I really do. And as always, Luke Ponto, great to see you, man. Thanks for the support. Subscribe to Luke Ponto's channel for more live streams, more reviews, more videos, and of course, watch-alongs, movie fanatics, and horror hounds, which I gotta say I'm proud of those intros. Next up, I watched Project Hail Mary. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal movie. This movie was everything I almost wanted. What do I mean by almost wanted? Well, Project Hail Mary does suffer from something called, well, what I like to call not giving enough story. There are moments in Project Hail Mary where I wanted more between him and Rocky. There is a moment where Rocky almost perishes, and in the book, they delve further into that. There's more like self-awareness that he's fully alone now. He doesn't have his partner in crime, Rocky, at this point. Now it's just Ryan Gosling up in space, and very well done movie. My favorite of the year at that point, but there was just something missing about this movie that doesn't sit right with me. Project Hail Mary is a great sci-fi film, but if you read the book, great adaptation, great script. I just wanted more between him and Rocky. Give me another 15 minutes of him grieving the loss of Rocky instead of, oh, he's just right back, because Rocky is a very important character. He's going to be a very important character when it comes time for Halloween. You will see a lot of Rocky costumes. But Project Hail Mary, great film. I wanted more from it, though. I rewatched Shrek. I wanted something to put on at night after a couple of really good movies that made you think, but Shrek, everybody's seen Shrek. You don't want to sit there and think about watching Shrek. After that, The Autopsy of Jane Doe. This was a movie that I gotta say, the rating's wrong. I don't know why Letterboxd keeps giving that a 5-star. It's not a 5-star movie to me, but I bumped this down to a 3-star movie. It's a good little film. Good little film. However, this movie is interesting, but there's not enough there to chew on. A great performance, very creepy moments, but at only, 82 minutes? 86 minutes? Emile Hirsch and Brian Cox are given a subpar script that is overall a good time watching, but I don't recommend you check out The Autopsy of Jane Doe because it's just a subpar horror movie that you're not going to remember after probably 5 minutes. Dolly is a lower budget horror movie that's now on Shudder. I was looking forward to this one, and it's fine. For a low budget horror film, it's fine. The gore is very well done. It's an interesting story, but I want more in the sequel. Dolly is a horror movie that deserves more of a gorier, more intense atmosphere. This one, I think you give it a higher budget, like a what's a low budget horror film that just got, oh yeah, the Terrifier movies. They got gorier, they got bloodier, they got better acting. I think if you do that with Dolly, you'll have a great time watching it, but the sequel should be a lot better. Hello, I Must Be Going. This is all about a age gap romance between Melanie Lynskey and a 19-year-old. She is not going through a very nice time right now in her life, and she ends up being a... I will acknowledge that comment in just a minute. But she ends up being this, like, cougar. And this 19-year-old really thinks he found love. You can't blame him. He's 19. He doesn't know what love is yet. Melanie Lynskey does a great job of playing this likable but unlikable character at the same time because she was the one who really instigated this relationship. And it's a movie where you're watching it and you're just digesting it. You're not sucked into the story like you should be. You should not be sitting there and wondering what is actually going to happen between these two because you know what's going to happen. But the way they go about the climax in the film, they do it the completely wrong way. It is a nice resolution to the climax, but the climax overall is a bit overdrawn and a bit mean-spirited because I know people who are in an age gap relationship or situationship right now, and very rarely does it go this way where they're very mean about it because Lynskey, great in the role, love her in everything I've seen her in, but there's just moments there where I'm thinking you could have done this a little bit differently. It's an unlikable character towards the tail end of the film, but you see where she's coming from, didn't handle it with the nice grace and respect I think that he deserved. Melody Time is a Disney animated classic that is basically a bunch of short films compiled into one 75-minute film. I grew up watching this one. I've seen it a couple of times when I had the Masterpiece Collection tape from Disney Home Video. Melody Time, solid little animated movie from Disney. The moment I'm going to lose people here. I hated this movie. I'm not a Charlie XCX fan, but I think if you're a Charlie XCX fan, you will probably get more out of this. I thought there was way too much in like strobe lighting effects in this film. She does a nice job in here. It's a mockumentary, but I'm not a mockumentary person. And for you to make a mockumentary, you really got to make something that sucks me in. It's well directed. It's well written, but the strobe lights got on my nerves, and I'm just not a fan of her music. While it's a well-written script, it's not a movie for me. I know that my friend Lily loves Charlie. My friend Luke liked it. Everybody else liked it. I was not a fan of this film, and I wish I was, but it just was not for me. Speaking of not for me, this is not a test. This is a vampire movie. Sorry, no, not a vampire movie. A zombie movie that made me feel like I was watching Anna and the Apocalypse again, but without the musical parts entered in. This is a low-budget snooze fest for the most part. Olivia Holt does serve a great purpose here. She shows that she's no longer a Disney star. She is evolving into this great horror, drama, rom-com actress because she's done them all. And I think she has a great future, like a Bailey Madison, like a Laura Marano. But I hope that Olivia gets even to higher heights than that because I like her chemistry with everybody she has in this film. She has great on-screen presence. She has this aura about her where she's instantly likable. However, likability is not such a great thing in this film because nobody is likable besides Olivia Holt. They make stupid decisions in this film, and it becomes nonsensical. This is not a test. This is a 90-minute horror comedy that is neither funny nor scary, but not boring. You can sit down and watch this with your family, I guess, but if you're going to watch this with a date, you're not going to be getting any action afterwards because they will just be annoyed and not in the mood for anything. This is not a test is a 2026 film that I don't recommend you see, but if you're curious, check it out. This is going to be one of a couple of times you're going to see this on this video because Elf is a movie that I put on in rotation for my dog. I kid you not, my dog loves Christmas films. If you don't know anything about me or my channel, I'm going to mention my dog Pumpkin a lot because I put on Christmas movies every single night for him. Sometimes I watch them with him and I log them. Sometimes I don't and I just put them on and I watch something on YouTube or I'm working or something. Elf is a comfort film for him. I put that on, he lays down, he goes to sleep, he's in his comfort zone. Elf is a movie that I love. Everybody loves Elf. Nothing much else to say. Then it was Easter. Normally I try and watch something that is Easter based, and that ended up being it's the Easter Beagle, Charlie Brown, because what else are you going to watch on Easter? Sure, the Ten Commandments, Ben-Hur, the Passion of the Christ. I didn't have time because I worked on Easter, so I basically scrounged around. But my friends were doing a live stream and they were watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off or something, and I watched Hop before that. I asked my family, what would you like to watch? I have it on Prime. Hop was on Prime or on HBO Max, I believe, and we just watched Hop. I don't remember it being this poorly done. It's a CGI bunny. I don't even know what to say about this. It's celebrating its 15th anniversary. I enjoyed it as a kid, but I was not a fan of this time go around. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If Kirsten's watching this, she's going to kill me. I don't think this is a perfect film. I think this is a perfectly serviceable teen 80s film that doesn't resonate with me. Matthew Broderick does a great job in this film. Broderick has become a bit of a snooze fest as of late with his later acting roles as of recent, but I wanted more from this film the first go around. I had more fun with it this go around because the first time I watched it, I didn't know what I was getting into. I was expecting an 80s John Hughes classic, and instead I got probably my second to third least favorite of his teen films. Rabasu. Nobody knows what this is, so let's get into Rabasu. Rabasu is the Hunter King-led horror film that is written and directed by her husband. Is it Chris Cooper, I believe is the name? Chris Cooper. I don't want to get it wrong because I got to say, for a debut, this is surprisingly creepy. It's creepy. Yes. It's Chris Copier? I'm going to go with Copier. So, if you're a Hallmark fan, you know Hunter King. She is a great little actress on Hallmark Channel. She is beautiful. She knows what she's doing. She has that charisma about her. She has that Hallmark charm. She has that rom-com energy that just sucks you in and you love her. Well, I love her to death. She's my favorite actress on the Hallmark Channel besides Lacey Chabert. But anyways, Rabasu is all about this demon, and it's all about these paranormal investigators who have a YouTube channel, and they are after this urn that is holding an ancient spirit, and it's in the abandoned warehouse. The group quickly comes to realize that it's not going to be one of their videos. It's going to come with deadly consequences. This movie is, yes, it's low budget. It's very low budget. But for a first-time film, as I know of, Rabasu is surprisingly creepy in ways that I would recommend to you. If you're a fan of low-budget horror, check it out. It's not anything I would recommend. If you are a fan of Hunter King and you want to support her and her husband like I do, I hope he gets a bigger budget, because I think with a bigger budget and a stronger script, this could have been something special. And I just wish it was better for me personally. Check it out if you're interested. Rent it. Don't take my word for it. I'm just giving you my honest opinion, and my opinion could be completely different from what you think. And that's the great thing about movies and the subjectivity of films. Check it out for yourself and see what you think. One Last Night. This is a movie I was looking forward to as well. It's a decent enough film to recommend. It's difficult. It's different, but nothing amazing. So this is all about this date that goes wrong. They are locked in a movie theater on their first date because they are there when the movie theater is closed. And you're basically seeing them become this couple because they didn't know anything about each other. They met on a dating site, and yes, you see Brian in there. Brian Baumgartner plays the security guard there. They have a nice little interaction with him, leading to him having a date at the very end of the film. One that I would recommend to you because it's so different. I've never seen anything with anybody locked in a movie theater and it turning into a romantic dramedy, because there are moments where you are siding with either person. Each person is going through their own difficult challenges in the dating world and in their personal lives and in their past traumas. I would recommend you check this out. It's only 80 minutes long. Check it out. I recommend you watch it as a one-time watch. It's available to rent right now on Amazon Prime. Next up, I watched Hot Tub Time Machine. I needed something quick. I needed something short. I needed something great because as you can as you can see, I do have a great film here and there, but I watch a lot of like lower budget, lesser known films. So I want something that's a comfort film, and Hot Tub Time Machine is that for me. Is it raunchy? Yes. Is it stupid? Yes. Is it sexy? Yes. Is it very, very vulgar? Yes. But sometimes you need that in your life. I'm a guy. I need the potty humor. I need the sex jokes. I want to see guys being guys and hanging out with the boys, as I do when I'm hanging out on Luke's streams or on my streams or on other streams. When I'm doing the Hallmark podcast, I'm hanging out with one of my best friends in the world, talking to the greatest actors on cable right now, because they're literally the nicest people I've ever met, and I can't help but just love talking to them. It's my favorite thing to do. Next up, I did watch P2. Now, P2 is a horror film that had potential, but you're basically watching this torture porn film. She's being chased. She's being beaten up. She's being hit, stabbed, cut. And it's not entertaining to watch that. Why is this at a 3-star then? Because of the ending. The ending is very satisfying. If you don't like watching a torture porn film like this, you'll love this ending. It serves its purpose. You are wanting this a-hole to be given his comeuppance, if you will. I recommend you check out P2 just for the ending alone, but if you want to see something worth anything in this film, go to the last 20 minutes, because then you're really in for a great time. Besides that, the first 10 minutes are pretty solid. The last 30 minutes are worth it. I recommend you check it out if you're a horror fan, but horror is not my genre of choice. I like it. It's just not my genre of choice. So, as I take a drink of my tea here, we are going to take a little bit of a comment break. All right. Luke says, I watched They Will Kill You a while ago. It was awesome. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope I do enjoy it, because I will be watching that one very, very soon. Hot Tub Time Machine is a comedy classic. I fully agree. Dolly felt like a movie that was saving its best ideas for a sequel. Perfectly put. Acres of Movies. Hey, Stacy, great to see you. I'm glad you're here. Can't wait to see what you... Wow, that is a question, all right. Favorite acting and performance for male and female this year? That's a very good question. So how am I going to solve that? I'm going to go to my Letterboxd 2026 list right now, and I'm going to answer that live. Right now, my favorite performance of the entire year is definitely Jafar Jackson and Michael, which we will get to in just a little bit. Female, I gotta say, my favorite, probably Margot Robbie in Wuthering Heights. The best job, however, we'll get into in just a little bit. with Nina Kiri for Undertone, but that's a great question. I will get to those films in just a minute. Thank you for watching. Next up, after P2, I watched She's Having a Baby when I got home from work. P2 I watched before work, and She's Having a Baby is the 1888 film about this married couple, and you're just basically seeing them live their life. I do have to say a small issue with this film is she isn't pregnant for the majority of the film. She doesn't become pregnant until like the last 40 minutes. And besides that, it's just this zany dramedy about this married couple. Great chemistry, very well done film. It would have been higher if it was more about the pregnancy journey, like a What to Expect When You're Expecting. It's a classic for a reason. I'm going to watch it again. Kevin Bacon gives his all, particularly in like the sped up style of the comedy scenes, like when he's about to take her to the hospital to have the baby. That was very solidly done. I enjoyed that. Next up was Sex Drive. I know that Luke is going to love this one. Sex Drive is a movie that's made for me. I am a sex comedy fan. I grew up in my teenage years with like the Van Wilders of the world and the American the American Pie films and the Presents films and those types of films. When my buddy and I were teenagers, we would spend the night and we would watch the stupidest crap. I mean, the stupidest crap that we went to the family video to rent. And eventually we ran into the sex comedy genre and we're like, we're guys. We're naturally going to enjoy these. It's a fun sex comedy that is a little overly long. Could have been a bit more crazy, but we have great performances. I love Clark Duke. One of my favorite actors on the entire planet is Clark Duke because he knows how to do this very dumb comedy, but also he can write and direct a mystery thriller like Arkansas. I highly recommend anybody check that film out. Spread is a film that I wanted to like more because I got the DVD. I believe I got the DVD from a pawn shop over a decade ago, and I finally watched it. This is all about Ashton Kutcher, who is this gigolo, and he's basically this freeloader. He sleeps with women, with older women, to stay at their house and basically mooch off of their stuff. And you don't see a lot of likability factors in him until he finds this one girl that he absolutely falls in love with. I'm going to leave it at that. This movie had sort of a vibe of Don John, but in a different way. Don John was a realistic look at a guy who has this particular addiction, but he wants to find love. He starts dating this one girl, which I will get into that next month because I plan on either rewatching that tonight or tomorrow, maybe next week. I'm not sure, but I've been in the mood to rewatch that one. One of my all-time favorite films is Don John. But Spread was a unlikable version of Don John. Very, very stupid character, very bad lead, very just dumb plot. I wanted more from this. And Anne Heche is completely forgotten about with the last half of this film. The first half of Spread, Ashton Kutcher and Anne Heche are basically just sleeping together. That's it. He's sleeping with her. He's staying in her house. She's going to work. She has the money. And he's sleeping with her to stay there. And then after she kicks him out, he winds up sleeping with a couple other girls. And then he finds one girl that he really loves. And he learns a valuable lesson by the end. Spread is a subpar film. I think if you're into Ashton Kutcher, I think you should see this because he does a very solid job here. But it's nothing like his role in, say, The Butterfly Effect or Jobs or anything like that. It's a very subpar performance from him. Have you seen Hard Bodies from 1984? Yes, I have. I have not seen it in a long, long time, though. I probably haven't seen that in probably, 7-8 years, I think. So I've seen it. I just don't remember it. And I didn't have Letterboxd when I got that movie from that studio. Always enjoy your streams, and thanks. Well, I thank you for watching my streams, and anybody who watches my streams is a friend of the channel, so thank you, Stacy. Next up, after Spread, was a rewatch of the 1994 Jungle Book. This is more of a Indiana Jones type film than anything else. The Jungle Book is very loosely based on the Kipling story. It's more about this man in the jungle named Mowgli, who winds up being Tarzan by the end of the film. He's learning English. He's learning how to do this and that, and what love is, and what water is, who the queen was. The movie does drag a little bit in spots, but I've only heard that from other people. I grew up with this film on VHS, and pretty much nobody else that I know has seen The Jungle Book from 1994, and it's not even on Disney Plus. If you want to watch it, you either have to have the out-of-print DVD that goes for like 20 to 40 bucks, or you have to buy it on digital. I think this movie should be on Blu-ray. I think it should be on Disney Plus, and I think everybody should see it. It's one of my all-time favorite films. I love The Jungle Book. Definitely check it out from 1994. The Squid and the Whale, freaking amazing movie. So this is all about this divorce. It's basically Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story before he wrote Marriage Story. It's about this separation, but it's more about how it affects the children than it affects the parents, because Marriage Story is more about the parents. This is more about the kids. There's a teenager played by Jesse Eisenberg. I can't remember the other kid, but he's phenomenal in this film. You're basically seeing how it revolves into them going, hey, can I actually have a relationship? Which parent do I like more? Who do I side with? And then you actually see why they're getting divorced, because they don't talk nice to each other. They're just cordial. They're just very cordial with each other. And then you're seeing why this happened and what that happened. But I recommend that you check out The Squid and the Whale. My favorite Noah Baumbach film is The Squid and the Whale. Nothing against any of his other films, but I think that this is his best work. It's only 81 minutes and it moves at a rapid freaking pace. Check it out. I believe you can watch it right now on Amazon Prime. I want to go up here to the comments. Why is it not letting me? I recommend I Swear. That was a great movie. Yes, I will see it. I know he won the BAFTA. He beat out Chalamet and Michael B. Jordan for Best Lead Actor at the BAFTA. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I was offered a screening of that, but it wasn't a screener. It was a screening in New York City, and I'm not from New York, so I couldn't make it. And I'm not going to fly to New York just from there. Do you like Margot at the Wedding? I've not seen that. That's been on my watch list for a while. So, Stacy, whatever you tell me, I'm going to watch. If you ask me if I've seen something and I say no, or you want to recommend me something, check it out, and I will watch it this month, and I will add it into the May watch list, because I'm currently making the May watch list as I'm doing this live stream and afterwards as well. So I will add Margot at the Wedding as well as Sea of Love, because I have not seen Sea of Love either. I can not wait to check both of those out. What's up, man? This is Michael. He is my co-host on the Movie Fanatics, on the Bell Call podcast on his channel, which is all about wrestling. So let's go into the rest of the movies. Urban Cowboy. This is a movie I was not a fan of. This is a 214-minute Western starring John Travolta, who is a abusive, unlikable a-hole who basically learns to bull ride and wants to bull ride because he wants to get his wife back. Nobody's likable in this film. There's nobody likable in this film at all, because you can't cheer for nobody. It's overly long. And they don't build chemistry between our two leads. You're basically just watching these characters fight, make up, get into another fight, bull ride, get into a fight. Then they make out with a couple of people, and then they're back together by the end of the freaking movie. It's a very dumb film. I hated these characters, but I'm not going to fault the movie too hard for it, because I do really enjoy watching these characters develop. However, you're watching this with beautiful cinematography and beautifully done performances, and the direction is very solid. However, it's just the script is the issue. Make your characters more likable, and you have a more interesting film. Matt and Mara, my friends have been watching this one. Thank you to Gavin and Mike for basically turning me on to this film. This is a lower budget, 80-minute film. It's basically about this friendship. I'm not going to go too far into this, but if you want to read that whole synopsis, go for it as I talk about it. It's mostly about this friendship. Matt and Mara have this very realistic relationship that starts to turn into like a When Harry Met Sally sort of a deal, but they never end up becoming a thing. It's mostly just about this friendship, and I enjoyed that because they evolve as people, they evolve as characters, they just suck you in, and you believe in this friendship, and I recommend you get Mubi just for Matt and Mara. And to end this page, we have Thrash. Thrash is a brand new shark film, which is basically Crawl, but with sharks. If you have seen Crawl, you will know what I mean. It's a very fun film, but it's nothing that I think you need to check out. There are two subplots in here. One with these kids in foster care, and one with this woman in the house who is trying to help out this pregnant woman who is stuck in her car, and it's surrounded by sharks. Wow, there's a Category 5 hurricane. Oh, and also the girl in the house, her uncle or something is trying to get to her. It's very forgettable, but it's definitely not worth checking out right now. Let's go to the comments. Sea of Love. Director does great thrillers. Harold Becker. He made Domestic Disturbance 2, a good one. Travolta and Vince Vaughn. Wow. And Steve Buscemi and Terry Polo. I will check that one out. I will actually check both of those out. Sea of Love, Domestic Disturbance, and Margot at the Wedding are now in my May watch list. A great one. Mike's Murder. I would like to hear, I would like to see your opinion on this one. James Bridges, underrated at cinematography, etc. I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. Thank you, Stacy, for that recommendation. I definitely recommend you check it out. It's very charming. Deep Water. I'm looking forward to seeing that one as well. No Place Around Me is playing it, so I won't be able to see that until it hits digital, but I look forward to seeing that as well. So, going back to the movies that I watched in the month of May. Rain Man. Wow. I don't know what was happening with my screen right there. Sorry about that. Rain Man. Very, very good film. I loved this movie. If you haven't seen Rain Man like I hadn't seen Rain Man, man, this was a great, great, great film. An all-time favorite of mine. It's definitely in my top 100 to 125 films. Probably in my top, 100 now. Perks of Being a Wallflower is a teen classic at this point. I've been wanting to see it for years. I was looking for something to watch, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to do this. And it's a great film. Phenomenally told, very heartbreaking, very realistic, very strong. Did I go the wrong way? I went the wrong way. Of course. Live stream. So, that is not what I watched in May. Let's go back down here. Stacy, I'm sorry. I went the wrong way. I'm used to going from left to right, and now I have to go from right to left. So here we go. After that, after Thrash, I did Two Night Stand. Two Night Stand is a rom-com starring Miles Teller, and it's basically about this one night stand that goes wrong because she is tired of just how to describe this film. She is they're at his house during a blizzard, and you can't go anywhere. And they're trapped in a tiny apartment, and they're getting to know each other, but they want it to be a one-night stand and nothing more. However, they get to know each other, stuff happens, and you know it's going to happen. Actually, you don't, because Two-Night Stand ends up being this drama about them having a fight about midway through the movie when they find out that he was in a relationship and she was also hiding a secret. This movie is only 86 minutes long. That's why I watched it. Also, it's been on my watch list for a very long time on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to finally check it out. It's well done. It's worth a watch, but it's not anything I'm going to recommend. However, the ending is very sweet. I will say that. It's a very, very sweet ending. Christmas with the Cranks. I shoved this on for my puppy. Pumpkin loves this movie. The 11th, I did not have much time to watch anything. I was at work all day, and then I went a couple of places. I came home. I believe that was also the day that we did a interview. That might have been the Lacey and Carlo interview. I believe that might have been the Lacey and Carlo, or that might have been the night that their movie premiered. I can't quite remember, but anyways, I watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas with my dog. It was nighttime. I needed to put a Christmas movie on for him, so I did that. Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. This is a classic. I don't care what anybody says. This is a classic film. I enjoy this one. It's a childhood film. However, not my favorite Scooby-Doo movie. Sorry, my favorite is Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, followed by The Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and probably on Zombie Island after that. Return to Zombie Island is pretty solid too. I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's pretty solid. The Answer Man. This is a dang good movie. Jeff Daniels is one of my favorite charming actors. So it's been 20 years since his character Arlen wrote a book about the spirituality that led to becoming a popular author, and the book went boom. It just exploded. These days, he is a curmudgeon who only enjoys the company of his chiropractor, Elizabeth, played by the always lovely and charming Lauren Graham. We actually see him starting to warm up to her because now he finds somebody who will put up with his crap because she is in love with this dude. I mean, she is in love with this guy because she sees that he can be a different way. She sees him as a potential mate. You see him start to go from his curmudgeon ways into being a likable guy towards about the halfway mark. However, there is something wrong here because he doesn't want anybody to know who he actually is. So he ends up telling this one guy. Actually, I'm not going to go into that because that's a bit of a spoiler. I don't want to go into spoilers on this one. I recommend you check this out, especially a fan of like the Golden Girls. If you're a fan of the Golden Girls, it's been a long week. Sorry, the Gilmore Girls, you will love this one. If you're a fan of Jeff Daniels, this is one of his great films. Not one of his best performances, but a very charming film. Charming lead actor, great chemistry, and you actually see him become a likable character, and that is called character growth. A lot of movies need to have more character growth for me to get sucked in to the overall story. Let's speed this up a little bit. Stuart Little, I rewatched this one because I was in the mood to rewatch it. It's an 80-minute film. I grew up with it. I watched this film on VHS many, many times. Dracula, very piss-poor attempt at a Dracula story that I'm starting to get sick of because we already had films like Renfield, Nosferatu, another Dracula film. We already got more Dracula than we care to. Winnie the Pooh was next. I watched this one again because I just wanted something short and charming after Dracula. That kind of put me in a crappy mood. And this did the trick. It's only like 53 minutes long. It's a perfectly short film. If you love Pooh Bear, you will love this movie. I'm sure everybody has seen Pooh Bear at some points. I know somebody personally that Pooh Bear is his favorite thing, and I absolutely love that. makes them so happy, and I celebrate that. I love Pooh Bear as well. Lake Mungo, this is one of the creepiest freaking movies I've seen in my life. This scared the crap out of me. This movie is creepy beyond words. This is a movie that you need to see to believe. Lake Mungo is the real deal. It is a creepy film. However, why is it at 4 stars? I'm never going to watch this film again. I will never watch this movie again. It is probably one of the creepiest movies I've seen in years, and I highly recommend you check it out. After that, I watched Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert. I'm an Elvis fan. I really enjoy his music. I enjoy the guy as a whole. I enjoy shows and movies about him. And it came out on digital. So I promised that I was going to be going into this expecting nothing else than just Elvis Presley singing. And I get that. I get Elvis Presley singing. If you're an Elvis fan, you're going to really enjoy this film. Punch Drunk Love. Very good film. However, not perfect. Like a lot of people think, it's not a perfect film. I wanted more between the relationship between Adam Sandler and Emily Watson. Philip Seymour Hoffman does a great job in here. However, you're watching the movie and he meets the love of his life, him being Sandler, but he's threatened by a gang of scammers. Yes, he's threatened by a gang of scammers after calling a sex line. And the movie kind of goes nowhere with it for me. I think this movie is good. That's why it's at 4 stars. It's a very well done film. There are moments of comedy that work, but there are also moments that fall flat. I wanted more from this, more from him and Emily Watson, because that was the true spark of this film. The Choral is a British film all about these young men who are in this choir who have to go to war after the concert and they're not getting anywhere. So they bring in one of the best directors in the choir world, played by Ralph Fiennes. And this is everything I wanted this to be. It was an hour and 50 minutes of just pure charm. It's a movie that has likable characters, pure heart, great singing, great period piece, just setting, the cinematography, the costumes, the score. I loved this movie. However, the pacing is an issue, and there's not a lot of character depth with some of the guys. And you do get to see a little bit of a happy ending as well. So The Choral is one I recommend to you. And then I ended up watching Return to Silent Hill. One of the worst movies of the entire year. It is not scary, poorly shot, poorly edited, awful acting, unlikable characters, bad decisions left and right. And it's a horror film that doesn't even need to be talked about. On to the next one. 101 Dalmatians. I popped this on because I wanted something very nice after Return to Silent Hill, and I got that. It's a childhood classic for me. Glenn Close is great. Undertone, the best movie of the year at that point. And it's the scariest movie I have seen in the past, like, going on 8 years. I kid you not, it is the scariest movie I've seen in 8 years. Scarier than anything I've seen since Hereditary. Creepy as hell. This is all about a podcaster who gets these audio files, and you're basically seeing how it affects her and her and her co-host. She also has to take care of her mom, who is on her way out. She's on hospice, and you're seeing how it is affecting her, how it's affecting her mom, how it's affecting her mental health. And it's a very creepy film. I highly recommend you check out Undertone. It is my favorite horror film of the entire year. Definitely worth the rental. Definitely check it out. We will stop right there for just a second, and we will go into some more comments. One Night Only. Okay. I will check that one out. Yes, love Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island 2. Yep. The cyber chase is great as well. You are truly a great. Thank you so much. I thank you for sticking around. It takes a lot for me to do this show because I'm by myself. It's a lot of my voice, but I love doing it. I love to showcase what I'm talking about, and I just want to continue doing this in no matter what form. But check out next month because it will not be live. Again, it will be a pre-recorded video with multiple segments filmed throughout the month because I want to make it a bit easier on myself. Already tomorrow in Hong Kong, this is an hour and some odd minutes of these two people just meeting in Hong Kong. And there's some romantic chemistry between them. However, you're basically just going on a tour around Hong Kong. There's not anything else with this story. They're trying. I mean, they are really, really trying to build this. It's a decent indie film, but you're going around Hong Kong, and that's the movie. They're talking. They get to know each other. I just told you the whole movie. It was a decent enough watch. I'm not saying it's bad, but I wanted more from it. A Season to Bloom. This was the Emily Tennant and Carlo Marx film, which, speaking of which, if you guys have not seen it, please check out the review. Sorry. The interview on the Heartful of Hallmark podcast channel. We interviewed Emily Tennant and Carlo Marx. Check out that interview because we go deep diving into what they did to make that film, the chemistry, everything. Check it out. So anyways, A Season to Bloom is a movie all about Emily Tennant's character who basically inherits her late grandmother's bookstore, and Carlo's character ends up being this, like, in the apple cider business. I think this could have been a fall film because for me, apple cider is more fall based, and there's trouble with that because his father doesn't want to give him the company because he doesn't think he's ready, and there's a bit of a story there. The bookstore is about to be sold because Emily doesn't know whether she wants it or not. We have seen the story time and time again. Two great performances. It's just missing that piece that makes Hallmark as charming as it should be. Seasons Blooming. I'm not going to give this a rating and I'm not reviewing because it is my buddy Alex's film. Check out Seasons Blooming on Negretti Films on YouTube. Check it out. And I highly recommend you give it a like, subscribe to his channel for more, and tell him that Noah Kaser sent you. A Little Park Music. I was watching this because we had an interview with the lovely Lacey J. Maley. When a piano appears in the park gazebo interfering with an important work, the city manager, Allie, joins forces with rookie cop Ryan to remove it, only to find both music and love are hard to resist. Now, this is what Hallmark is about. This is what Hallmark is for. The chemistry is there. It's full of humor. It's full of heart. It's full of romance. It's full of great chemistry. It has a great story. The supporting cast is phenomenal. I think that this movie is the best film that Hallmark has made this year or premiered this year thus far. Great film. Check it out right now on Hallmark Plus, and it will be on Hallmark Channel multiple more times throughout the year. Under the Sea. Under the Sea. Darling, it's better. Oh, no, sorry. No copyright. Under the Sea is a documentary that is narrated by Jim Carrey. I wanted something short. I wanted something charming, and I love Jim Carrey. This is a humorous take about what's going on under the sea, and you are basically learning about these fish, what they're doing down there, and whether they are venomous or not, whether they eat each other. It's very interesting. And this was shot in IMAX 3D. So if you got to see this in 3D, let me know how it was. And I highly recommend you rent that. I had a Sunday off of work. So I had a movie day. By I had a movie day, I mean my dog had a movie day because my dog was not in a good mood that day. So we did cribma. And by cribma, I mean we did cribma. So I'm going to keep these short. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Elf, Home Alone, 2 Lost in New York were all films that I just watched back to back to back with them. My family went to church. I did an interview. And after I got done with the interview, I just left the home. I just left the Christmas stream on there for him because I have a playlist on YouTube of movies that I've bought on there, and I made him a Christmas list. So I just played the list. We did 3. After that same day, I watched 13 going on 30. It's a comfort film for me. My mom really enjoys it as well. It's very sweet, very charming. It is great. And I was also getting in the mood for Michael because anybody who knows, Thriller is a part of the soundtrack and it plays a major role into the likability of Jennifer Garner's character. I ended up rewatching Men in Black, which is a Three Stooges short all about Howard, Fine, and Howard, who are these doctors, and you're basically seeing the misadventures of them in the hospital. The Funhouse is a very boring horror film that I thought was going to be mostly gory fun. Instead, it's very sloppy, it's messy, and not in the gory 80s horror realm that you want. If you want fun 80s horror, there's plenty more out there. This was very annoying. Steve Harvey, Still Trippin'. This popped up on YouTube, on his YouTube channel. I have been wanting to see his stand-up specials for a very long time, and I really enjoyed this one. Very funny. I love Steve Harvey as a comedian and as a host, and I highly recommend you check it out. Also, I highly recommend you check out Wakefield. This is all about this man played by Bryan Cranston, who is going through this midlife crisis. And one day after work, he just decides to go home and live in the attic above the garage. Basically see what would happen if his wife and his kids didn't have him for a while because he wasn't feeling respected. He wasn't being talked to by his daughters very much, even though they were teenagers. That's what they do. They ignore you. And his wife was starting to become more distant. And it's just basically him seeing what's happening in the house, and you're basically seeing how it affects his psyche. He has some friends along the way. You see how he's eating. You see what he's doing. It's a very interesting film. Very charming, quiet little film. I enjoy that a lot. Midwinter Break. This was fine. It's way slower than I wanted it to be. It's about this retired couple, and they reach their crosswords in the relationship while on holiday in Amsterdam, and things come to light. It's fine. Leslie Manville is great, but this should have been more entertaining and better than it was. I don't think a whole lot of people are going to watch that. I was looking forward to it because I enjoy like older people romance stories, and I was looking forward to a movie about a married couple just going on a trip with some secrets involved to add in some drama. We do get that, but it's not that well written. After that, I watched Ice Castles. Ice Castles, very good 70s film. However, like all these films, something happens where you are instantly just feeling, to use a new term, you are getting the ick. Because in this film, our lead is a teenager, and there's a 30-year-old who starts hitting on her. They end up having a makeout sesh because he likes her. Ice Castles is all about this skater who wants to go pro, but after she has a little accident, she is half blind, and she can't see what she's doing now. So her then boyfriend, whatever he is in this film, ends up helping her along the way. I enjoyed this one. However, it would have been a lot better if we didn't have the underage romance in here. The underage kisses that were very creepy, that didn't add anything to the film. Very uncomfortable to watch. How to Make a Killing, great performance here by Glenn Powell. He wants to basically inherit this money that his mother was supposed to get, but since he is the youngest one on the totem pole in the family line, he's going around killing his family members that he's never met to get the money. And there's this subplot involving him and Margaret Qualley that ends up making this film very, very good, but it could have been great if you did the ending a bit different. I'm not going to go into more. Thriller. I was in the mood to watch this because it was Michael Jackson week. Michael was coming out, and I figured, why not? I had the day off of work. Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is a movie I wanted to see in theaters, but my theater never played the movie, and I was very angry. It went down to rent for $9.99, and I gotta say, I enjoyed this movie a lot. This was a great look and a great different take, an adaptation of the book that is going through the same beats, but in a different way. And I recommend you check this out because I know a lot of people are disliking it, but a lot of people have also read the book. They've seen the other movies. I have not. I've not read the book. I have not seen the other movies. I'm going to rewatch. I'm going to watch the movies afterwards. Later this month and into the summer, I will be watching all the different versions of Wuthering Heights that I can find. There's one in the 30s, the 50s, the 70s, and maybe in the 90s, I think. So I'm looking forward to checking that one out. This one comes to Blu-ray next Tuesday, and I will be picking myself up a copy. Later that day, I went to Michael. Michael is my favorite movie of the year, and I'm going to go into why. Michael is a very likable film. There's just not a lot of issues in this film. The plot is basically you're seeing Michael Jackson grow up as a kid with his abusive father, played by the phenomenally talented Colman Domingo. And it's basically him wanting to separate himself from his father and the Jackson 5 and go away on his own and go off on his own. And he does that, winds up becoming a massive hit. And the movie ends right where the bad tour begins. So when bad starts, the movie's over and we don't go into the 90s, the 2000s. I believe that's what we're going to go into in the second film, because I believe we are going to get a second film. I loved Michael to death. It's my favorite movie of the year. It's pure fun, and I really enjoyed it. All right. Okay, Ammonite. I watched Ammonite because I've been wanting to see it for a long time. I had some time before work, and I figured, let's watch this. And it was a very sexual film that had very little chemistry between our two women here. Two all-star powerhouses in the history of Hollywood. Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan. I love both of them. Saoirse Ronan is one of my favorite actresses. Is one of my favorite actresses on the entire planet. I enjoy her movies a lot. Little Women. The Outrun, Lady Bird, which I think she should have won the Best Actress Oscar for. I think she should have won for that. But hopefully she gets her Oscar. She's phenomenal in everything she does. I love Saoirse Ronan. This movie just winds up being a snooze fest because, yes, there's chemistry between them, but you're basically seeing this friendship wind up becoming this like situation lesbian ship. And that's fine if you do it in the proper way where they both feel that way. Instead, for one, it's just fun. The other, it's love. And it's not a very entertaining film. It's a movie that goes for it. I will say that. It goes for it, and I recommend you check it out if you are a fan of this genre. But for me, it was a subpar film that I wanted more from. Give me just a second. All right. So, keep going. Jack and Jill, I needed something to watch that night, and I chose Jack and Jill. Great film. I am kidding. It's not a very good film. It's a very stupid film, but man, does my family get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So they get enjoyment out of it. I get some laughs out of it. It's very short, and who doesn't want a Dunkachino? Completely kidding. Breakfast Club in my top 5 favorite films of all time. No words needed. Uncle Buck, I watched this because when I got home from work, my mom was watching Sundance, and on Sundance, they were having a John Candy Day, and she goes, "Well, Uncle Buck's next." I said, "Have you ever seen it?" She says no. And before that, it was Brewster's Millions, and I haven't seen the whole thing because I walked in and it was only like in the last 10 to 15 minutes. So I figured I'll show her Uncle Buck. She really enjoyed it. I think it's a great film, and it was a nice watch. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We ended up rewatching this one, and it's one of the best films of all time. I've seen this many, many times. Like I've said multiple times on this show, I went to the library, and about 2 or 3 times, like once or twice every single month, I would get the tape from the library and borrow it and take it back the next week, and then I'd do it the same tape every single time, and I never got tired of it. My mom enjoys it. I love it. Great film. To Philly with Love. Becky Dalton, I love you. This didn't do it for me. Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth. This is a movie starring Florence Pugh, who ends up being bought and being forced to marry this man who is a big a-hole. And the way that he goes about everything is just so unlikable. And you're seeing his father, who bought her off of this guy to basically be his son's wife. She ends up falling for this other man. They have a sexual relationship, and there's murder involved. I'm not going to go into it. This is a very well performed, beautifully shot, great costumes, just very sad film at the end of the day, because you like Florence Pugh's character in the beginning. The later you go into the film, she becomes less likable and less relatable as a whole. I watched It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown. It was not on Arbor Day. Arbor Day was on the 24th. I wanted to watch it on Arbor Day, but I figured I would show my family. My family did not want to watch it, so I watched it on my laptop on Apple Plus. Check it out. It's Arbor Day, Charlie Brown, a brand new film I will be watching every single Arbor Day. I wanted something short. Work was hectic. And the Song of Lunch is basically this poem that is being told by Alan Rickman. And he's going to lunch with this former flame, and they have this conversation. And that's basically the movie. It's very short, 48 minutes. Check it out because it's well performed. However, the ending kind of confused me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Maybe I wasn't smart enough to watch it. Then I put this on for my dog. I watched this one multiple times as a toddler, Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. And he enjoys this one. I put this on multiple times for him, but this is the first time I've logged it because I've never properly sat down and watched the whole thing in probably over 20 years. And until a couple of months ago when I forgot to log it. Great little film here. If you haven't seen it, it's only like 58 minutes long, 53, I think. 53 or 58 minutes. I can't quite remember. But if you haven't seen it and you grew up with the original Mr. Hooper, he's in here. Cookie Monster just wants cookies from Santa Claus. Big Bird is curious why and how Santa Claus goes down the chimney. That's a nice story. And Oscar the Grouch is just a old curmudgeon. Devil, this was fine as a whole. It was 80 minutes long. I wanted something short, and I was looking forward to this for many, many years. This let me down supremely. Home Alone 2. I put this on for my dog because he was in a mood, and Home Alone 2 just does the trick for him. The Grudge, very boring film. The girl was very boring. It's a movie that doesn't really focus on Sarah Michelle Gellar. It focuses on multiple other people. It's a very unfocused, piss poor horror film that was not creepy in the slightest. After that, I watched the first Great Train Robbery. Actually, my DVD said The Great Train Robbery. This was a comedy that worked for like the first 20 minutes, and after that, it overstayed its welcome. After that, on the 30th. Yesterday, I started my day with Wonka. It had been a while since I've seen Wonka. It is my most watched movie on Letterboxd, and I want it to stay that way. Wonka is personally my favorite film of all time. I love this movie to death. It gives me so much, and I mean so much joy. So much so that it is my background on my phone. I kid you not. It is literally my background is the Wonka poster. So, but then after that, to end it off, I put on Elf again for my dog Pumpkin. So, thank you for watching this live stream, what I watched in April, and thank you to everybody who stopped by in the comments. I thank you so much, and I look forward to checking out more movies in the month of May. I've already watched one. I plan on watching one more tonight, and as always, before we end off this stream, let's go into the comments. To clarify, one night only. Oh, that is the that's I think that's a trailer that just came out. I'm looking forward to seeing that one very late in the year because I know my theater isn't going to play that. I know it's a Universal film. It's a rom-com. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I look forward to seeing it. Psyched for Heartfelt of Hallmark channel. Thank you. It is a nice little channel. Myself and Kirsten do tremendous work on there. We are very proud of it. And she puts a lot of work into it when I can't. With her interviews, we do great interviews together. We love our guest stars, and we love doing the podcast. It's our passion. We love it. She's one of my best friends, and I just love doing it with her and making you guys entertained, getting to talk to the great people of the Hallmark world. 2000's French movie A Secret, underrated. I will look into that one. I'm not a fan of like foreign films, but I will expand my horizons. So there is that, everybody. Stay tuned next month because I'm going to try and make it a more longer form video. And I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Until next time, everybody, like and subscribe for more. Like and subscribe to the Heartfelt of Hallmark podcast channel. And I'll see all of you guys next time. So